legitimately raped.
Yeah, how did he say the secretion of the secretion can block that? He said they got something can block that. See, when it's
Yeah.
it's a traumatic
Yeah.
thing. He act like he know all about raping somebody. It's a traumatic thing. See, and they got something to block that. See.
Well, and I'm sure that the 39,000 plus women who find themselves impregnated by their rapists every year in the United States, they would be amazed to know that as well.
It's just amazing to me, Jackie, that you can stand your little old puny pee ass up there and say some crap like this. And as soon as you force a woman to have a baby of a rapist that she did not want, then you'll be glad to put her in prison as soon as she killed the baby.
Well, it's not only that, Brenda. It is just that, just because women are biologically capable of carrying children and giving birth to them, it is not an easy thing.
No, it isn't.
And, as a woman who's only been pregnant once in her life and, in love with her husband when she got pregnant and had a wonderful child and all that, it can be a wonderful, wonderful experience. But one of the things that I learned going through my pregnancy, sitting out in my doctor's office with other pregnant women, is not every woman was as happy as I was.
And Jackie, your hormones are already jumping off the chain.
Yes.
You're already going to be going through many, many emotions. And if you are in love and have a husband that loves you and is there to go through this pregnancy, it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Even in your misery, you try carrying that
because you have somebody who's looking out for you.
Okay.
But what these statements remind me of is the cases in the Middle East where under their law, under their religious law, a woman who is raped, the honorable thing to do is to marry the rapist.
Oh, Lord.
And there have been several stories about young women who have committed suicide because they were forced to marry a man that raped them.
Okay.
And the man continued to beat them and rape them even after they were married. I mean, the thing that upsets me about this entire discussion is that rape is about violence. It's not about sex.
Thank you, Jackie. They ain't making love to your ass.
Exactly. The sex part is the weapon. Okay, but it's about violence. It's not about sex. And these attitudes are so archaic that the Republicans continue to espouse. And to add insult to injury, Mitt Romney and late this afternoon Paul Ryan called for this man, Todd Akin, to drop out of the race for Senate and basically end his political.
I said, stay in there, Todd. Hang in there, boy. Run on to the finish
line. That's
line.
What he's doing. But the thing about it is the Republicans show themselves to be hypocrites at every turn.
At every turn.
Because what this man said is what
they believe.
Have been voting on in the House for 2 years.
Thank you, Jackie. Mr. Ryan himself co-sponsored the bill with this fool, and now
he co-sponsored a bill with this man.
Yeah,
Ryan had his name, I think, on 3 or 4 anti-abortion.
Yes, he did with this man.
Congress. And you're gonna love this. It was Mr. Romney and Mr. Akin who came up with the forcible rape term. And I just want to say about that. Say one more thing about that. If you look up the word rape in the dictionary, it defines rape as being a forceful act, secretion. Okay.
Oh, Jackie, Jackie, it's amazing these men.
That's a redundancy.
Yes, it is. These men. I'm glad you said redundancy because I was thinking that's a double negative or something about to say. Thank you. That's the right word, redundancy.
Yes.
Y'all, come on. These men some of them have multiple degrees. and have gone to college, and they sit down and they come up with this shit, and you wonder what the hell was they thinking. Don't you read? Don't you know? Didn't you look it up before you said it?
Well, Brenda, look, my husband has a marvelous take on this. Okay?
What is that?
My husband says that rape is not an issue, it's a crime. And if any of these Republican men don't think so, my husband works at a prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
He says that, he would be happy to take some of those boys down to the penitentiary and just throw them in a cell with Big Bubba and see how they feel about that.
I love it.
What happens to them is an issue or a crime. Okay?
Okay, yeah, let's figure that out now. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you figure out whether it's forcible rape or whether you're making love or whether I'm just gonna tap your ass whenever I want to. Let's work that out right now. Come on, I'm gonna show you the difference. Jackie, it's just amazing. It's amazing.
I'm sorry, B.
No, go ahead.
And so, the Republicans, Mitch McConnell, who believes that he's going to get to be the Senate Majority Leader after this election, is really upset with this guy Aiken because he's afraid he's going to mess up his party.
Now, Jackie, I majored in psychology because I love to just figure out what somebody's thinking. I'm going to tell you I can tell you straight up what's wrong with Mitch McConnell and most of these Republicans.
Please tell me.
Now, I'm going to tell you, Mitch McConnell, all along, he ain't getting none. And getting some helps you to be a happier person.
Brenda,
that's how.
Just sipping my coffee.
Ask James if getting some don't help you be a better person. You're happy.
It does.
It's like singing. Singing brings out the very best in you. It's good for your health, and getting a little bit is good for yourself. Now, and Mitch McConnell ain't getting none except for them scrippers. That's coming late in the night, and it's bad when don't nobody love you. Cause them scrippers don't want nothing but that money, and so he's still left feeling. Even with his Viagra, if he got some, he's still left feeling lonely. Ugly men.
He's just lonesome.
Ugly men need love too. he's like who is it? A thug got feelings too.
Well, if he were prettier on the inside, it wouldn't matter so much.
That's right, Jackie. You wouldn't see that he looks like the damn worst, the ugliest turtle that Turtle Man has ever caught.
Yeah, but if you're ugly on the inside,
that shows up on the outside. And I always describe his ass as looking like a ventriloquist doll, just that bottom lip. And he's just a mean. He's just a mean, hateful thing. And saying that, let me just play this clip real fast by Harry Reid, because Harry Reid explains it.
Okay. Mr. President, if this flood of outside money continues, the day after the election, 17 angry old white men will wake up and realize they've just bought the country. That's a sad commentary. About 60% or more of these outside dollars are coming from these 17 people. These donors have something in common with their nominee. Like Mitt Romney, they believe they play by their own set of rules.
That's right. They believe and play by their own set of rules. The country will wake up owned by 17 angry old white men, and he meant to say ugly too.
Oh yeah, well you need to write it down.
And Mitch McConnell is one of those. It's amazing, but I say y'all, let's fight for Todd Aiken to stay in the race.
Well, Brenda, we don't have to fight because he has decided to stay.
Yeah,
he had until 5:00 this evening to drop out in a manner in which the Republicans could replace him.
Yeah. And
he said no.
Yeah, and Steve McMahon said on Hardball yesterday he'll drop out by 5:01. I said, I bet $5 he don't.
No.
Because when you're that ignorant, Jackie, you don't.
Well, Brenda, it's not only that. Think of it this way. This man has been in the Congress for
12.
I think a dozen years.
Yeah, 12 years.
This is his profession. He is a professional politician.
And Jackie, how did we miss
being
him?
in the Senate is a huge promotion for these guys.
Yeah, how did we miss him, Jackie?
Why not roll the dice?
We ain't never. He's been pretty quiet. How did we not? I don't know. I guess each week they say, "Okay, you go say something dumb."
Well, no, Brenda. It's just that there are so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're hard to keep up with, and there are, because like for instance, the reason that we know about Jumpin' Joe Walsh because of the child support thing.
Yeah.
And he's another one who's so ugly on the inside.
Yeah.
And everybody knows he's going to lose.
Yep.
Because he's just, and I mean, it's like he's losing his mind, that he feels that he's entitled to that seat in Congress. Mm-hmm. Well, you haven't done anything for your constituents, dude, and you're an obnoxious asshole.
Yes,
Nobody wants you.
Jackie, every time you see him, he is out in public having a hissy fit. Yeah,
he's just nuts. So, what makes you think that these people want you representing them? No, you do have to do some work. Some constituents do require their congressmen to do something for them.
Okay? Instead, and hey, Jackie, we require that you do something for us, and then that you don't go skinny dipping in the Sea of Galilee embarrassing us.
No.
Go with your pecker out.
Oh, yes. That's just, and I watched a little piece about the Republicans doing their deep dive in the Sea of Galilee when they were in Israel. And apparently they jumped from the deck that they were on having had dinner.
We keep telling y'all these Republicans just as wild.
I was hoping that there were no other people in that restaurant. I hope it was late and everybody else had gone home and they were there by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing a man stripping down his birthday suit, that might upset your dinner a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Listen,
but Brent, in reference to the Todd Aiken thing, the Republicans do seem to be worried, but I don't know if they're really so much worried about Todd Aiken not being able to win this race, but they're worried about the attention that this is bringing to the actual Republican agenda.
Yes, Jackie, it's taken all the attention away from where they wanted it. Yes. They've been trying to tell folks that Barack Obama hates you. He's a failure. He's this. He's that. And every single week, one of their brethren comes out and insert foot into mouth.
Yes.
And say some more barbaric shit against women.
Oh, yeah.
Which is only making us rise up. We are sitting here, Jackie. You could be sitting here eating dinner, doing dishes, or typing anything, and it'll come across the news, and you'll hear one of these some bitches say some shit, and you just let your mouth fly open. You can catch flies. Like, what did he say?
Oh, exactly correct.
Did he really say that? And all you can
wonder how such ignorant people can be elected officials in our national government. How do these people get elected?
Jackie, I think they come out of the closet once they get elected.
Well, that's possible, because just like the way that the Republicans won the House in 2010 on the platform of jobs, 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 and their first several bits of legislation were anti-abortion legislation.
Every time I think about the Republicans, all I can see is a caveman pulling me by my hair. That's all I can think about.
Yes, that's very appropriate. Well, Bryn, while we're coming to a close of our
yes, we are.
And I just wanted to talk very briefly about the real world impact.
Please.
Laws that prohibit abortion under any circumstance.
Okay.
Okay. In 2009, in the Dominican Republic, they added an amendment to their constitution. It's Article 37 of the Dominican Constitution, which states the right to life is inviolable from the moment of conception until death. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, I want you guys to remember that. The right to life is inviolable from the moment of conception until death. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that means that abortion this is one of those personhood amendments. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, on Saturday, it was reported from the Dominican Republic that a 16-year-old girl died because of this law in the Dominican Republic this past Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
This young woman